Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to Love Is, the podcast that's flipping the script on midlife. I'm Stacey Herrera, your guide, and I am so happy that you're here. I am so excited. So excited. But before we get into it, I want to touch on two things. One, if you are listening with the kiddos, I advise you to press pause right now and come back later. This podcast is not for gentle ears. This is a grown folks conversation. We are going to be exploring so many delicious things and diving real deep. And sex is one of the things we're going to be talking about. So you've been warned. Two, we are not going to commiserate about menopause or rehash that same old midlife stuff that you're used to hearing. I am also not going to promise that you will recapture your youth. But I will promise this. I promise to keep it real, 100, no matter what. And I also promise to lead by example. So whether maybe you're a recent divorcee out of a decades-long marriage, or maybe you are knee-deep in a complicated midlife romance, or maybe you're just flying solo and rediscovering yourself. No matter where you are, there is something here for you. And get this, there's no right time to start loving. There's no right time to start healing. There is no right time to start growing. Now is all the time we have. It's the only time that exists. So now is as good a time as any to get started. So if you're ready to dive into some real talk about sourcing for joy and living and loving out loud, you are in the right place. Welcome to Love Is. Let's begin with a little transparency, shall we? And I want you to be honest with yourself, honest with no judgment. Everything is welcome here, but we are going to be practicing unconditional friendliness with ourselves. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to ask you a question, and I just want you to answer it honestly to yourself. Are you walking around with a heart full of hope, but a mind cluttered with past hurts? Are you walking around hoping on a wing and a prayer while you are wallowing and holding on to things from the past? I see you. I see you nodding. And that's okay. That's okay because I've been there, done that. I know exactly what it's like to lug around more emotional baggage than a real housewife on a weekend getaway. I know exactly what that's like. But here's the thing. You cannot create a juicy, delicious life. And it doesn't matter whether you're single or partnered or in between. You cannot create the joy that you desire if you are constantly replaying the blooper reel from your past experiences. You also cannot cultivate deliciousness if you are fixated on what's not working. It's kind of like trying to drive down the street while you're staring at the rearview mirror, right? You know what's going to happen. It ain't going to be pretty and people get hurt, right? So our first order of business on this inaugural episode of Love Is, our first order of business is to Marie Kondo the hell out of our mental closets. It's time for us to thank those past experiences for their lessons and show them the door, put them to bed, lay them to rest, because we cannot live in the present and create a kick-ass future if we keep rubbernecking to the past. The right here and now is where the magic happens. And in the here and now is how we visualize the future we desire. And in case no one has told you today, you are deserving. You are deserving. And there's nothing that you have to do to deserve except for exist. So I know you might be thinking, you might not be buying it, not yet, but you will. But right now you might be thinking, Stacey, you don't know what I've been through. You do not know my life. You do not know what I have going on. And you're right. You're right. I don't. But what I do know is this. I know that you have a choice. I know that you can either choose to let your past define you, or you can choose to let your current situation limit you, or or you can choose joy. You can choose to lean in because it is a choice. Joy is a choice. Misery is also a choice, and you are free to choose that, but I don't know if that's something you're interested in. But joy is also available. It is something that you can choose. And after you've done all this living, and some of the living that you've already done might not have been what you desired, right? It might not have been easy or desirable. But at this point in your life, when you done got to the age of I don't give a fuck, joy is a superpower. Joy is an act of resistance. Joy is yours for the taking, should you choose to accept the mission. So think about it. Think about it. When was the last time that you woke up and decided, today I am going to choose joy? Or when was the last time you looked in the mirror and was like, I look good. I look good. Instead of cataloging all the things that you think are wrong with you and your body and your face and all of that stuff. Like, we often look in the mirror just to pick ourselves apart. And that is a podcast for another day. But it's okay if that's where you are. I'm there sometimes, you know? We are going to be practicing. Practice makes better. We're not looking for perfection here. And here we are starting together, me and you, we in this, right? So I want you to repeat after me. I choose joy. I choose love. And put your hand over your heart for this one. I choose me. How did that feel? A little weird, a little awkward, a little powerful, maybe? It might feel strange at first because shifting your mind feels like that. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, sometimes it's exhilarating, sometimes it's really awkward, but it's always absolutely necessary if you want to create a life that you love. Your mindset is the first thing. Your mind is the first thing that has to change. Because get this, thoughts really do become things. Your body is just responding to your thoughts. And eventually, if you think the same thing on repeat for long enough, your body will work on autopilot based on the thoughts that you have been ruminating on. Or if the thoughts are joyful, that you've been basking in. So either way, the shift begins in your head. And that's what we're talking about. So I want to ruffle your feathers a little bit further if I haven't already. Is that all right? Okay, are you ready? Insert dramatic pause. Like, this is where the rubber meets the road. It is time for you to start golden ruling yourself. It's time for you to start treating yourself like you want other people to treat you. I know it sounds like something that should be on a t-shirt or a coffee mug or something. It sounds real, faux motivation, right? But stick with me because again, this is where the rubber meets the road. There's this quote that I love by Maya Angelou, and she says, "I don't trust people who don't love themselves and tell me I love you." She goes on to say, "There's an African saying which is, be careful when a naked person offers you a shirt." Let that sink in for a minute. If you are going around saying how much you love other people but you don't love yourself, it might be hard for them to believe you, right? And so it always starts with you. And it doesn't matter whether you are in a relationship or not. The way you treat yourself sets the standard for how everyone else treats you. It colors every area of your life. It informs every decision you make and everything that lands on your doorstep. And I get it. I know it's not easy. It's not easy, especially, at this age, you might still be juggling a career. You might have some kids at home. Maybe your parents are aging, or maybe you're taking care of some other aging relatives. And let's not even get started on the hormones, right? Because they have a mind of their own. So all of these things could be going on. But the thing is, if you want to live an inspired, heart centered, joyful life, if you want to love like you mean it and be receptive to being loved, it has to start with you. So here's your homework. Yes, ma'am, there's homework. This week, I want you to do one thing every single day that shows you how much you love you. So, one thing every single day to demonstrate your love for yourself. And maybe it's something like saying no to something that you keep saying yes to that you just don't want to do. So, that's an act of love. Or maybe it's buying yourself flowers. It could look like booking that paint and sip class that you keep looking at on Groupon. It could be that. It could be taking a nap because you deserve to rest. Whatever that looks like, whatever it is, do it with intention. Do it with love. Do it because you deserve to be treated well by you. This is why this is important. I mean, loving yourself is just important, right? But why? Why is it important? It's important because when you start to love yourself fiercely, it creates a ripple effect. It also creates this magnetic field of self-worth that not only attracts the kind of people you want to be surrounded by, it also attracts the kind of experiences you want to enjoy. And it enhances every relationship in your life, including, especially, the one you have with yourself, right? So before we wrap, I want to remind you of something. You are not too old. You are not too broken. You are not too loud. You are not too quiet. You're not too skinny. You're not too big. You're not too anything to create a life that you love. I want to share one more quote with you. This one is from George Eliot. It's never too late to be what you might have been. Isn't that powerful? Midlife isn't the end point, it's a launching pad. This is a new chapter. This is a blank page. This is fresh, clean sheets. Don't you love fresh, clean sheets? I love this quote by Miss George. That's right, Miss George Eliot. Miss George knew some things about unconventional paths. And here's a little fun fact. George was really a woman named Mary Ann Evans, and she used the pen name George Eliot because she wanted to be taken seriously as a writer. And let me tell you, she was nothing like the prim and proper lady that her husband tried to paint her as after she died. Let's just say that Miss George she was a little bit more scandalous affair with a married man than she was a Victorian wallflower, if you get what I mean. But when she said it's never too late to be who you might have been, I believe her because she created that for herself. She created a life where she was able to do what she loves, and she did what she had to do to be taken seriously. So wherever you happen to be today, right here, right now, whatever is going on for you, I want you to know that now is your time to shine. Now is your time. So that's all for today, love bugs. If this episode lit your soul on fire, and I hope it did, hit that subscribe button. And remember, love isn't just something that happens to you. Nothing. Life isn't something that happens to you. It's something you choose. It's something you create. It's something you nurture every single day. Every single day. So until next time, I am Stacey Herrera, reminding you that love is whatever you make it.